Yo, what's up everybody? How is it going? Today we're playing Legends of Dota. We're playing the Redux version because it's the only one that works. Really the only one that actually works in any sort of way. We got a really cool build for you. I like this build a lot. Hey, Champerstein! Thank you for the 19 months, dude. Appreciate it. So, how does this work? We've got Swashbuckle. Swashbuckle gets 4 attacks out, right? Then we've got Curse of Awareness. 4 attacks, applies a massive slow, gives us bonus attack speed, and silences. We've got Heart Piercer, the old Pangoli ability, and Lucky Shot, the new Pangoli ability. This reduces armor to nothing and slows. This disarms and slows. Then we've got Time Lock, gets additional attacks out and stuns for a little bit. And we've got Jingu Mastery, lifesteal, bonus damage, and also instant trigger with Swashbuckle. Yeah, we don't actually have an ultimate, but you don't really need an ultimate with this build. This build just kind of like fucks shit up. Also, there's 2 heroes in the mid lane. Ay. Come on, guys. What are you doing here? Come on, guys. Have some mercy on me. Why are you doing this to me? Alright, hey, Gil Gorna. Thank you very much for the sub, dude. Appreciate it. People are asking about the China situation. Okay, let me go ahead and explain the drama. There's been drama going on in the community. I'm sure other people could explain it better than me, but I am just gonna see if I can explain it. Now, if I make any errors, then if somebody in chat knows better, please correct me, right? So, why am I playing Juggernaut instead of Pangoli? Because Juggernaut has a lower base attack time, and attack speed is a big part of this build. Right, we want to be able to attack quickly. So anyway. Anyway. Here's the situation. A guy, I think his name is Cuckoo, was playing a Dota pub game. And he was playing against Chinese players. And in that pub game, he called them a racial slur. Consequently, afterwards, people were kind of like a little bit, that's not really cool, right? And then the guy made kind of like a really half-assed, super shitty apology. Where it wasn't really, it was one of those apologies where it wasn't really acknowledging any fault on your part, and it was just kind of like, I apologize because I was told to apologize, right? And it didn't really make a lot of sense, and it just wasn't really that nice. Then, after that, gets a little bit of backlash, makes an actual proper apology, and that one was pretty sincere. Also, the company the team that he plays for, fined him a pretty substantial amount of money, I believe, and also like he was gonna be playing at the Chinese major that's coming up, right? I think that I don't know what the city is called it's in, but anyway, there's a major coming up in China. And you know, he was gonna like be forced to donate half of his earnings from that to like an anti-racist kind of like what's it called, charity company. Anyway, so that was kind of the situation. And what then ended up happening is it kind of snowballed a little bit out of control because of that initial kind of like half-assed apology. The Chinese Dota base and the Chinese Dota players kind of started freaking out a little bit and weren't really willing to kind of like forgive that easily, I suppose is maybe a way to put it. And you could say that some of the Chinese content creators were kind of egging them on a little bit. And, oh man, that's crazy. That's pretty strong. And so it kind of goes and goes and goes and it goes round until eventually it gets to a point where it is announced that the guy is banned from the Chinese major. Now, when we say banned, it isn't exactly what you would imagine. So it isn't just that he is no longer allowed to play at the major, because he's actually strictly speaking not banned from it, but instead the tournament organizers said that they would not be able to guarantee his safety and that if he shows up, there is a chance the entire event gets cancelled. Which, of course, is more than just a little bit sketchy. So that's not great. So, now what's been happening as a consequence to that is... Well, actually, I believe... Let me... I'm not sure which order this was, but then, basically, lots of people from the, like, Western Dota scene started rallying behind this player called Cuckoo, I believe that was his name, and they started saying, if he can't go, we are not going, right? I think Grand was who started that movement initially, and was like, if he can't go, we are not going, right? And he should be able to go. And yeah, so that's kind of the situation. That's why. So again, if I got anything wrong, please correct me. I think I may have maybe a little bit off on the timeline. I believe that people started rallying against this before it surfaced that the guy wasn't actually properly banned, but instead that that comment was made regarding we cannot guarantee his safety. So what do I think of this? Well, I think it's just fucking retarded. Okay? Like, here's the thing. The Dota community, the scene as a whole, seems to have decided to rally behind somebody that I think is a very sketch choice to rally behind. The thing is, the guy did just go into a pub game and see Chinese players, and his first thought was to make racist remarks against them. And I want to go ahead and make this clear about the story. It is not really up to debate whether or not the guy made the racist remarks. That is just a fact. That is just something that happened. We have screenshots of this. Everybody knows this. This is just confirmed, right? And to me, personally, I find racism even like that to be a little bit inexcusable, right? And I personally have to say that if the consequence is the guy's banned from a major, that's just the fucking consequence, right? That's just what happens. Now, I want to go back really quick and kind of go back to the thing that I was talking about that brought up this story in the first place, which is welcome to China, everybody. Let me go ahead and tell you a little bit something about China. Oh, hello. Here's the thing that you need to understand about China. China doesn't care about you. At all. Do you know how in the Western world you feel like you're always owed at least a due process, and that if you feel like you made a mistake, people should forgive you, you know, like as long as you sincerely apologize, and that generally speaking, it's okay, we kind of forgive mistakes and we move past them. We try to move past them, we try to make it so that it isn't a case of you made a single mistake, you will now be abandoned for the rest of your life. Now, let me go ahead and tell you something about China. China is a little bit different in that regard, as in, China doesn't give a shit about you. At all. China doesn't care about this concept. China doesn't care about preserving the individual. China doesn't care if an individual has to be sacrificed for the sake of making their point. China will just happily throw you under the bus if that means they get their message across. This is what they do all the time. Which means that when people say, well, he shouldn't be punished like this just for making these remarks, y'all aren't particularly familiar with how China runs things. China will very happily ruin that guy's entire life, not even just his career. They don't give a shit. They will ruin this guy's entire life if that means they get their point across. Now, is that good? No, I don't agree with these methods at all. I don't think that you should have your life ruined because a single person made a mistake. But that doesn't mean that's how China thinks, right? Yeah, China's kind of a scary place. We don't think of China as that scary of a place, but if you look at the things that they do, it is a little bit, the very slow Chinese takeover over Hong Kong and such is a little bit terrifying if you take a bit of a closer look at it. In fact, you really don't even have to take that close of a look. It's quite terrifying as long as you just take any look at it at all. Aw, come on, dude. Got him. Alright, cool. 75 time lock damage. So, now people are criticizing about this story. There are so many different parts that people are criticizing, right? So the first one is, should a tournament organizer be allowed to ban a player from a Valve Pro Circuit event, right? Because the thing is that this major is part of the Valve Pro Circuit, or like the Dota Pro Circuit, which means that if you play in this major, you gain Dota Pro Circuit points, and you need these Dota Pro Circuit points to be able to participate at the International, right? This is very, very important. So since Valve is enforcing the rule that you need to have the Dota Pro Circuit points to be able to play at the International, does a tournament organizer then get to ban a player from their event? Right? Because in the end, what the players are playing for isn't so much the event itself, but instead they are playing for the International. Oh wow, I am stunned. Satsa! Satsa, please. Rude. Alright. So should they be allowed to do that? Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up these different points and I will then explain my personal opinion on them, right? So, first of all, should a tournament organizer be allowed to ban a player from the tournament? Of course they should. Of course they should. The problem here isn't that the Valve isn't that a player is banned from a tournament. The problem is that Valve have set themselves up with a system that was set up in this way to minimize the amount of cost and work that Valve themselves have to do, that makes it so that important things that are connected between Valve and tournament organizers kind of put the tournament organizers into a really bad spot no matter what they do. But in the end, they are still hosting the tournament, right? Like, imagine you are hosting a tournament and then there's something that happens that you personally strongly disagree with, your fundamental values disagree with, that your fundamental values don't agree with, and then you say, no, we do not want this player at our tournament. We don't agree with this. We don't think this is something that should be permitted, and we don't want this person here. We think this person would be dangerous to our culture or whatever it is. In that case, should you be allowed to ban that player? I believe, absolutely. You're running the tournament. You get to decide who gets in and who doesn't. That's how things work. Like, you just simply, pretty much in every scenario, the tournament organizers get to decide who actually gets into the venue and who doesn't. So this should be the same in the end. But then what about the Valve Pro Circuit points? Well, the Valve Pro Circuit points, that's really on Valve's fault. Right? So Valve's response to this could then be to say, well, we don't want this tournament to count towards the Pro Circuit points then, but then some other tournament needs to get those points instead. So that kind of means that in the end, the real solution to this problem is for Valve to stop being fucking lazy and run their own fucking tournaments. Right? That's the real solution, but that would require work from them. The next point is that people are saying that Valve should, they should at least take a stance, which is actually a pretty valid point. Valve should definitely take at least a stance, right? But now this is where you need to understand that Steam is currently releasing, or kind of like exploring, a bigger market in China. Now, China is kind of a big deal. In fact, the largest population of Dota players actually comes from, say it with me, China. On top of that, what is the most populated country in the world? Say it with me, China. So of course, Valve doesn't really want to create a situation where they are creating bad relationships with China. And that's another problem with this situation. Where now everything has escalated so far out of control that if Valve now takes a stance in favor of Cuckoo, they might be compromising their business in China. Now you might say, come on. Just because of a single player that wouldn't compromise their business. And this is where I need to remind you guys again that we are talking about motherfucking China. In other places of the world, you look at a situation like this and you're like, okay, well, it's not really that big of a deal. We're not going to go ahead and sacrifice, millions or billions worth of money for this business deal. But China. China will just tell you to go fuck yourself and then just do it themselves. They have done this many, many, many times before. And so Valve, I would be surprised if they are particularly inclined to actually engage in this issue, just because it is actually a reasonable assumption that it can be risky for them in a rather significant way. So that's a problem, right? And now here is the next bit that is really weird about this. The tournament organizers didn't actually ban Cuckoo, right? Cuckoo is not officially banned from the tournament. Now you might be like, wait, what? I thought that was the whole point of this entire nonsense. Well, yes. Instead, Cuckoo is banned from attending the area. He's not allowed to go into the location. And this ban wasn't issued by the tournament organizers, but instead was issued... oh man, this shit goes nutty. But was instead issued by the local government. So, this enters into this next area, where should the local government be allowed to make such a decision, banning a specific person from going into a specific location? To which the answer is, obviously, yes. Obviously, yes. Yes, that's how government works. Yes, that's it's done in many different places in the entire world. It's done even in Western countries, right? Like stuff like restraining orders, preventing you from going into specific locations. Very much, yes, this is just something that, yes. The answer to this question is yes, and if you think the answer is wrong, then you're just disillusional. Like, it's just, you're not listening to what you're saying. Now, the thing about this is that usually these powers aren't being used for petty shit like this. Right? Like, that's the thing that makes this specific case so weird, is that usually these kind of powers from a local government aren't being used for petty shit like preventing a player to go play in a video game tournament. Right? That's why it seems like they shouldn't be allowed to do it, because they actually very much should be allowed to do it. It just seems like they shouldn't, because usually these powers, again, aren't being used for petty shit like this right here. Right? But, and at this point I want to, again, give you a quick reminder. China, they don't give a shit about you. They don't. They care much more about making the point and the statement that they want to make than they care about any given individual or even individual event. The larger message, especially the larger cultural message, is significantly more valuable to them than any of you. In fact, they would probably go so far as to just like imprison him if that's what it took to bring their point across, if they really cared enough. Now, I'm not saying that they care enough to do that. I highly doubt that. But yes, they will use such petty things as a local government banning a person from attending a video game event to bring their point across. Welcome to China. That's just how that shit works, right? You gotta be real careful there. Do you wanna, let me tell you a tiny little tale about China. Okay? Tiny little tale about China. So currently, China is trying to do a cultural takeover over Hong Kong. You can read up on that. It's, and you know, like this videos on YouTube and shit. Like, if you're interested in that, it is quite interesting. It's also quite terrifying, but it's quite interesting. Anyway, they're trying to do a cultural takeover over Hong Kong. Wow, okay. And as part of that, there was a little event that happened where there was a bookstore that was selling in Hong Kong books that were anti-Chinese government and kind of like had messages that the Chinese government didn't approve of. So purely coincidentally, what happened is that the owners and the employees of the bookstore, I believe a total of 5 of them, randomly disappeared. Nobody knew where they were. Nobody knew what happened to them. But we do know that one of them turned up after about, I think, 2 years and was shown on Chinese state television reading out a message where he stated that he believed that these books were entirely wrong, that he regrets selling them, that the Chinese government is great, and that he should never have done what he did. China, ladies and gentlemen. So, we don't know what happened to the rest of the people in this bookshop. We only know what happened to one of them. Nobody knows what happened to the rest, but we still haven't found them again. What?
Their biggest earning movie star, Fan Bingbing, not been seen in months.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if they don't, if
Ooh.
they're willing to do something to Fan Bingbing, they don't give a shit about fucking Cuckoo.
Yeah, so, okay, just to kind of repeat what Mickey was saying there. Biggest earning movie star has not been seen in a year, and nobody knows what happened to her. Yes.
And how wrong she was.
She released a statement on social media about evading taxes, and we don't know where she is now. So here's the thing. The Chinese government doesn't give a shit about their biggest movie star, and they will just kind of make people disappear at times if it's convenient to them. This is something that happens. Now, it's something we don't learn very much about because the Chinese government is very, very good at controlling the message the outside world sees. That's something they spend a lot of time and effort on. So if you think that the Chinese government does give even the tiniest fuck about Cuckoo, they don't. And if you think the Chinese government gives even the tiniest fuck about the entire Western Dota sphere, saying that they are coming out in support of Cuckoo and that they will no longer be traveling to China because of what's happening, because of this injustice, then I personally would not be too surprised if a lot of those players in the future might have issues getting visas going into China. I personally wouldn't be too surprised. And you might be like, as if they're keeping track of it. Of course they're keeping track of it. You think they don't know what's happening? Of course they know what's happening. If you don't think that you know what's happening, then you're just lying to yourself. Ah, man, I need my BKB here. Right, but personally, I wouldn't be too surprised if Grant, by making that statement on Twitter, may now be in a situation where he is actually no longer able to go to China. that may just have been taking care of himself. You know, like he said he's making the choice. There's definitely a chance that he's no longer making that choice. That's just not happening anymore. Yes. That's kind of that. Now, the next point that people are making is that China is being racist towards the Philippines. I think the Philippines, right? Oh, I'm sorry if I might be getting the exact Southeast Asian region wrong. Wherever Kuko is from, right? That China is being racist. And that's not okay. But this is actually an argument that even if China gave a shit about that, which they don't, even if they gave a shit about that, that's still a weak as shit argument. Because the entire reason why why all of this nonsense is happening is because Kuku was being a racist. I am sorry. But you cannot pull the "you are being racist" card on an issue that got started by you being racist. That just doesn't go. Oh, man. Rude. Nice BKB, but did you see my Manta Star though? Did you see my Manta Star though? But yes, Baumi, please be careful with this sensitive topic. We don't want you to suddenly disappear on us. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not really saying anything that's like crazy. But let me, on that note, actually make a quick note. I went to China last year, right? And you guys know that I tend to be pretty outspoken. I don't really hold back with my opinions, and if I find something needs critiquing, I will critique it. I shut my fucking mouth while I was in China. This advice goes out to everybody. If you go to China, shut the fuck up. Keep your comments until you're out of China, okay? Just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Just don't bring it up, okay? Don't bring it up. While you're in China, you like China. That is just how it is. You like China. As long as you are in China, you're China's biggest fan. You love China, my friends. Right? Absolutely. So just wanted to make that clear really quick. But yeah, so that's the situation. Did I cover this adequately? Did I forget about anything, Chad? I feel like I did. So it's actually a lot more complex than Grand makes it seem on Twitter. But again, if you ever go to China, China's your biggest friend. You love China. You love China. As long as you're in China, you love China. Alright, boys? That's really scary, actually. China is really scary. I mean, what was the massacre called? Is it the... Fuck, man. I'm bad with names. What was the massacre? Anyway, there's this really famous massacre. I'm sure you've seen the picture of the guy standing in front of the line of tanks. Do you guys actually know what happened there? People were protesting. Tiananmen Square. Exactly, Tiananmen Square. Do you know what happened there? People were protesting China. They were protesting that, they were hoping to get democracy. Lots of students were coming together. Peaceful protest. They were not doing anything. No violence. What did China do? Rolled out tanks, killed them. Unprovoked. They weren't being violent. They weren't doing anything. Just China felt that they needed to make an example, and so they did. And guess what? No more protests. Oh my god! Holy shit, I'm still alive! How did I do that? Holy crap! Oh man. But yes. So again, China don't care about you.
Good morning.
Hey, Charlie.
Talking about communism again, and I love me some discussions on that evil red blight.
Yeah. Well, we haven't really gotten into... Oh my god! Fuck! These juicy Manta styles today. Oh my god. Y'all can nice BKB me all you want. Where are my nice Mantas at? Where are my nice Mantas, huh?
The other fellas mid-rags won't be making trouble no more.
Oh man, that's fine. That's good. I do want to say that was a reaction. Look, I did see the thing. I was just like, Manta. Alright. Probably wouldn't upload this video though. May draw unwanted attention. Nah, it's fine. The thing is, China doesn't pay attention to every single thing on the internet. It's impossible, right? But the thing is, they will be paying attention to the Cuckoo situation. They will be paying attention to the people involved in that situation, which I am not. I am not involved in the Dota competitive space, so I'm fine. But they will be paying attention to that because it is already, the Chinese government is already involved. That's what people need to understand, right? Like, it's not, we are not at the stage where China is like, oh, it's about, China's government is about to get in on this shit. They're already in on it. They are already part of this, and you need to be aware of that. So yeah. Baumi changed name to Captain Manta. New command, nice Manta. That was a nice Manta, I do have to say. Anyway, so this is kind of like, yeah, anyway. Oh my god. Slice and dice him. No, come back here. Oh, motherfuckers. Alright. Dude, this build goes so hard. Oh, get fucked up. Oh, never mind. No. Ah, come on, dude. Invest. We're fine. We're fine. I gotta do a Spirit Breaker build at some point. Alright, this turned into a much bigger thing than I thought. I didn't think this was gonna be the Be Aware of China video, but be aware of China, boys. Be aware of China. China is scary. Alright, let's go back. Was Slaughterbash banned when you made this? Seems like it would make it all come together. Yeah, Slaughterbash is banned. Slaughterbash was just like an absolute no-brainer on the ban list. Like, it's something that's gonna be so easy to abuse. It's just really, we don't want Slaughterbash to be available. Will be far too easy to abuse. You have literally one active ability and are constantly out of mana. Yeah, well, the thing is, like, it's got a low cooldown. We're using it a lot. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Okay, we're gonna get ourselves a Lincolns really quick. Now we're not gonna be out of mana anymore. Hey, who's backdooring them? Is it the Naga? Somebody is definitely backdooring it. Alright.
Your top tower's in trouble.
Hello, Nail. Stop it! Bad Nail. Bad Nail. God fucking damn it. Whew, okay, we made it out. The perma sleep is not quite perfect. Oh shit, you can... Fuck! I didn't think he would be able to get me out of my dash. Fuck you, Cardle. Come on, beat him up, beat him up, beat him up. Nice. Dude, this build is awesome. I like how over the years right-click builds have gotten more and more interesting. Ah, rude. Got him. Which one is real? We killed it? Yeah. Nice. Feels bad, I need a ranged hero for this to work. Do ya? There he goes. Tag team. That seems like an ability you can abuse. Oh. Come here now. Ah. Timing wasn't quite perfect. Yeah, we got BKB for a reason, my dude. Oh, these things are scary. Like the double stun. It's actually something you can do in OAA pretty well. You get refresher, double stun people, it goes nutty. I'm dropping low. Alright, let's just finish this. Got him. Got him. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It wasn't really so much Legends of Dota, but other things. But I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.